No such thing as perfect. All right, guys. Day 9 of the 100-day hiking challenge. Almost 10% in. That's pretty impressive. You know the ground rules for today? We're doing 20-minute hikes in week 2. A little bit of an increase from week 1. I don't know about you, but at the end of week 1, I was craving more. I think when it started out, even myself, I was thinking, how am I going to get 10 minutes a day in? And look at us. We got week 1 behind us. We're into day 2 of week 2. It's day 9. Just cruising right along. All right, so we're going to dive deeper today. Wanted to touch on the space between today. Wanted to share, what does that mean? Oh, this is not so good. All right, day 9 of the 100-day hiking challenge. Today we're going to talk about the space between. That's right, the space between. That's what we'll touch on today's 20-minute hike. And I hope you guys are getting some good sunsets or sunrises in, because this one is just fantastic. So, wanted to remind you to reference the digital packet program that was sent out at the beginning of the course. Please also log in to the private chat group. You should have an email on. If not, just reach out at info@menaftermarriage.com. Again, that's info@menaftermarriage.com. There's also the weekly guide sheets that are there for us. Make sure you get that printed out and you're following along. It's really helpful to reflect after these hikes that we do. You can go back and just make sure you caught everything. You can also replay the video too. All right. So for this week, one of the objectives was to find 7 different hiking routes near your home. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? Just change it up, right? You go around the block one way, you go around the block another way. Take some side streets. Make fun with it. Make fun with it. Have fun with it. Make it fun, whatever you got to do. But 7 different paths this week. It's good to just mix it up, right? Sometimes the routine can be good, but part of what we're doing here is building resilience. And we get that by exposure to new routes and new places and new things. So 7 different routes this week on your walking tours. And you can bring your smartphones along, right? You can watch this at home. You can, throw on some earbuds and walk along too. You don't have to watch. I want you guys to be safe out there while you're hiking. So probably not good to watch, but as we build more people, we'll make more determinations on what's the best application forward. I certainly would love to do these live with you every day, but we're not there yet. One day, for sure. All right, so then post hike, we may have some check-ins along the way as well. Just post hike check-in, see where you're at. Maybe we'll ask some more deeper questions about the topics that we covered. But yeah, just expect the unexpected. And the biggest thing here is share your thoughts. What works for you? What doesn't? What do you like? What don't you like? It's the only way we all get better if we communicate, especially our communicator needs. Also wanted to put out there, make sure that you're journaling daily. We're going to have writing assignments, so to speak. We're going to have work assignments to do after these hikes and throughout the weeks. Just want to make sure that encouraging you to get out there and journal after these hikes. It's part of the journey for sure. I mean, you signed up for a 100-day hiking challenge, but you also signed up for some other stuff to know yourself better. And to do that, we really need the power of self-reflection through a journal. And lastly here, make sure that you're connecting with at least 2 members of the group. Okay? There was some meaningful comments referenced their posts. It really helps engage the community, and we learn by the support that we give each other, along with just the basic ways to communicate, right? Not only with one man to another, but with this, you're kind of practicing for all the communication in and outside the group. So yeah, those are the ground rules for today. And the topic we are teaching on is that space between, right? And how are we doing that? We're raising our awareness, giving you guys a solid foundation to notice your patterns. We kind of talked about that briefly in the beginning of the call, right? But your patterns are really the secret here. It's the secret to finding that space. When you know yourself good enough to understand the patterns, you can start to make the conscientious choice between action and reaction. And that's really where the power is. You can find that ability to do so, man, the sky's the limit for you. And I have full faith that each and every one of you can do that. So yeah, that's the brief introduction for today's video. Again, I want to just remind everyone to be safe out there on the hikes. Watching these videos is really cool that you'd be doing that out there. I could be with you. However, we got to be safe. Potholes on the streets, sides of paths that slide down canyons, wherever you are, I just need you guys to be safe. So probably best to not be watching the video. All right, so this week's focus sheet should touch on a little bit of that awareness. And we'll cover some of that stuff today, but a lot of this as well will be some self-study and the communication that you have with the group. So this may seem weird, but we're actually going to start off this video with 2 minutes of silence. So I'm showing about 9 minutes in on my recording, and I'll touch back with you in about 2 minutes. Over the 2 minutes, I want you to not have any distractions. Don't put any music in. Don't rewind or fast forward. Just take these next 2 minutes for you. See what comes to mind. Just observe. You don't need to judge. Just watch the thoughts roll in. Watch the thoughts roll out. And I'll touch back with you in 2 minutes right now. All right. So that should be about 2 minutes, guys. I'd love to hear about what came to mind in that last 2 minutes. For me, maybe you guys were wondering the same. Man, I was thinking about that dog that was barking, thinking about how beautiful and like the perfect temperature right now in this nice new flannel, the new old flannel, you could say. And yeah, just thinking about how cool it is to have people on the other side of this watching and reflecting on their inner thoughts. So, yeah. What did you guys think about? I'm really interested to hear what came to mind. I can imagine if I was there and thinking about divorce, if I was a couple years back, 5 years, 6 years ago, man, I would have a million things running through my mind. So I can't wait to hear. And I hope you were able to think about maybe the space. Maybe just starting that off, you were touching on areas or topics or actions or responses that you wish you had a little bit more space. So, what is space? Space is that ability to control the reaction to an event. I know for me, one specific trigger in divorce was then it was coming to negotiations where stuff went and how sometimes I wasn't able to express how I wanted something. And then there was resentment down the road when I gave that piece away. So maybe you guys have something similar. Maybe you don't. But being able to have that space between giving something away and reacting about it negatively, that's what we're talking about, right? Somebody in your life says something negative about you, or some says negative to you, or you take negatively. Like finding the ability to just pause. to go to your breath and just take that moment. Something in my journey that was really powerful is the breath. And we'll talk about that more, but breath is really powerful. So maybe we can move forward with this a little bit by understanding the psychology behind it, right? And so what happens when we're triggered or react or overreact? And why does that happen? Well, our brains are wired for survival, right? And to survive, we're wired to really look at things in a lack perspective, right? We need food, we need water, shelter, clothing, some nice flannels, to survive. And without those things, our brain kind of protects us. So it's always in this scarcity mindset. It's always thinking we don't have enough. We need more. It's thinking, don't do that. You got to protect you. You have to survive, right? Because if the body doesn't get oxygen and blood, it doesn't continue to thrive. So your brain is putting us in a place of scarcity. So inside of our brain is different components, as you guys probably know. And when we are triggered or feel a response that is either threatening our survival or perceived to be threatening our survival, then we have one of two options. We typically fight or flight. Now, there's different emotional structures in there. Some people say fawn as well, right? But for the purpose of this conversation, I want to keep it pretty light here. And so I want you to think about fighting or flighting. Where are you in that? I know, depending on the situation, for me, I fought, or sometimes I took flight. And maybe that's the case with you, maybe it's not. But yeah, where are you guys at? I'm looking forward to hearing. You a fighter? Are you a flighter? Are you a combination of the two? And so understanding that real general breakdown of the psychology of the space between, we're looking for that moment of clarity between the perceived threat and the reaction on the other side of it. So, threat, reaction, we're looking for that space between. Okay? And believe it or not, like as we practice this more and more, we will find those opportunities for the space between. I wanted to talk a little bit more about breath now and the importance of that space between, because that in itself is a very powerful tool to find that space between. One technique I started out with personally, and I think could be very powerful for us today, is a box breath. So, what is a box breath? It's utilizing a second count for different phases of our breath. Breath is kind of a pretty amazing phenomenon. It's one of the areas in our body that we have the ability to both control and to not control. Right? So we have a autonomic response where we are breathing without even consciously thinking about it. But we also have the ability to consciously think about our breath and then speed it up or slow it down. So this can be really helpful if anyone is a runner or does really active sports out there. Right? The ability to control your breath in those sports can really give you a mental and physical edge when it comes to any kind of physical activity. So what we're going to do now is do a quick breath in, 3 deep breaths in together. And that will give us the opportunity to feel what it's like. Definitely want to remove that section. All right, so 3 deep breaths in on 3. First, to breathe, we're going to have to breathe out. So we're going to count to 3, breathe out. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll take a breath in with an inhale count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll hold for 4. Hold your breath for 4 seconds there at the top. So that up 4 is your breath in. Over 4 is you're holding your breath. And then we're going to let go of our breath for 4 seconds. And then we're just going to hold our breath again for 4 seconds. So that's what creates the box. 4 up, 4 over, hold. 4 down for a release. And then 4 hold again. And so let's take 3 deep breaths and then practice that technique once. Okay, so to do any breathing, we're going to have the first breathe out. Breathe in for 3, 2, 1. And release for 3, 2, 1. Let's do that 2 more times, guys. Breathe out. And breathe in for 3, 2, 1. And breathe out. 3, 2, 1. All right, one more time, guys. Breathe out, big breath. And breathe in for 3, 2, 1. And release. 3, 2, 1. All right, how did that feel, guys? For me, I felt great. But how about you guys? Did you feel anything through that? Did you not? Homework assignment tonight is to try that box breath by yourself. Also, journal about 3 different times that you wish your reaction to a action was different. Did you say something you didn't want to say? Did you do something you didn't want to do? Did you do both? Doesn't matter. There's no judgment zone. But journal about those 3 times. Give space to think about how breathing in those moments could have potentially benefited you. And write more about that. Think deeply for our next hike tomorrow. So I just wanted to thank y'all for being here. Say how absolutely amazing it is to have a connection to a brotherhood on days like this. Right? And I'm actually looking forward to getting out here on days where it's not like this, where it's rainy, where it's too hot, where it's too cold. Get out here and just connect with it. So thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the chat. Oh, and one more thing. So in your hike today, I want you to look for something in your hike. Like this little rock here. Something, and then this simple little rock is a way to just remember that there's always a little space between action and reaction. You can find a twig, maybe. I don't know. Nothing big, something small, preferably inedible. I don't know what that word is, but something that's not alive. Like there's frogs out here. Wouldn't want to grab one of those. Be fun, but it wouldn't really be helpful. So thanks for being here. Keep doing that thing, and I'll see you all soon.